Who would have thought that we'd be in this place of social distancing ourselves from each other? It seems so counter to the Christian mandate to love God and neighbor and to go out into the world and proclaim the good news of the gospel. For me, just thinking about greeting one another without extending a hand or open arms to receive a hug is like uncomfortably strange. And yet the reality of the situation is that without cooperating with this call to social distance ourselves, we could in fact be causing more harm than good. Many of us are young enough to not be too concerned. If we get it, we get it. But the fact remains that we could also give it. And this virus could be life-threatening to someone in an at-risk category, like our elderly or people with an autoimmune disease or pulmonary condition or cancer or other conditions, making the idea of social distancing ourselves not just an option, but one of common sense. In a way, I guess the world has been preparing us for this event for a long time. We've been socially distancing ourselves from others with technology and isolation for a very long time. So the question facing us is not whether we should ignore this apparent danger and meet together anyway, or whether we should huddle into complete isolation and just wait it out. The real question we face is, how can the church be the church during this time? How can we show compassion, mercy, love to others during this time? How can we continue to be connected even when we're disconnected? As a church, our greatest strength is our love for God, our love for our church family, and our love for neighbors. Our deacon board, our cabinet, and our small group ministries are strong and deep. So one of the things that we've been doing this week is to carefully review all of our people and link everyone with a small group leader, a ministry leader, and of course our deacons. And by creating a manageable list, we'll be able to connect regularly with everyone, to be able to be aware of how everyone is coping and what needs exist and how we can be praying. And I'd also encourage everyone to check in on those who you feel led to connect with. You don't have to be given a list to make your own list and reach out to others along with us. As to our worship service on Sunday, here's what we have planned. Mark McGrail's worship team, Byron and I alone, no one else, are going to be at the church at 8 o'clock this Sunday morning, and we will record a worship service and post the whole service, not just the sermon, but the whole service on YouTube, Facebook, our website, and the cable access channel. We hope to have it posted to YouTube and Facebook by 11 o'clock so that everyone can worship together. Please post comments on Facebook and on the YouTube channel, perhaps even as you're watching it, so that there's that sense of people participating. But be aware that it's a public forum. And we would like everyone to be able to participate. Also, we want to just remind you to take advantage of our prayer email, prayer@firstchurchnb for North Brookfield, prayer@firstchurchnb.org. Send your prayer requests in so that we might know how to pray for you and what you may need so that we can respond even quicker. As time goes on, we are looking and will be looking for more ways where the church can be the church. And I believe this will become more apparent in the days ahead. For now, I just leave you with the words of a theologian, Martin Luther, in a letter connecting us living now to 300 years earlier to an interesting parallel. Luther writes about the threat of the bubonic plague in a letter that he titled, "Whether One May Flee from a Deadly Plague." Here's what he had to say. "You ought to think this way. Very well, by God's decree, the enemy has sent us poison and deadly offal. Therefore, I shall ask God mercifully to protect us. Then I shall fumigate, help purify the air, administer medicine and take it. I shall avoid places and persons where my presence is not needed in order to become contaminated and thus perchance infect and pollute others, and so cause death as a result of my negligence. If God should wish to take me, he surely will find me, and I have done what he has expected of me, and so I am not responsible for either my own death or the death of others. If my neighbor needs me, however, I shall not avoid place or person, but will go freely. We should have the same attitude as we look forward to what is ahead, as we are able to prayerfully determine the direction that we need to take and how the church can be the church. May God continue to guide us as we charter these new waters together. May God protect those who are most vulnerable. May we be wise in our actions, and may we be true ambassadors to his kingdom for his glory. Amen. We'll post more and keep you informed as we know more. Thank you.